People don't understand your message. Sometimes the problem is you. I'm Bruce Rule. I'm a writer and editor, and I help a range of clients with all their communications, whether it's newsletters, social media, reports, speeches, basically anything they've written, I take and make better, or I write it for them myself. I also teach public speaking, both in workshops and with private clients. I've published a book called Heartfelt Goodbye, How to Write and Deliver the Eulogy Your Loved One Deserves. And this week I want to talk to you about something that came up in my college class. I went back to school after many, many years, taking some college classes just to learn some new skills. In this one class I was in, the professor is young. I don't want to take guess, but she doesn't have a lot of experience. She's only been doing it for a few years. And throughout the semester, the feedback from us, the students, was every time we handed an assignment, we didn't really understand the instructions. They were too ambiguous. And she was surprised because we were handing in assignments that were wide-ranging because she had a vision of what she wanted, and we didn't get that vision. So some of us were handling it this way, some of us were doing this, some of us were doing, all over the place because her instructions were clear. And she would rather snippily respond, well, if you have questions, you can always email me. I didn't get an email on this. Well, so what's the problem? Well, the problem is if you're consistently getting feedback that you're unclear, you should be rethinking how you communicate. And this is really a basic part of communication. It's on you to be clear enough that the person receiving your message understands it. And if you're constantly getting the feedback, we didn't understand your instructions, they were too ambiguous, they weren't clear, we did not know you wanted this. You have to think about, how do I have to change what I'm saying to get the person to understand what I want? And that's a real tricky thing, especially when you've got a group of people, because yes, there will always be somebody who doesn't understand, either because they're not smart enough, or they've got they're distracted, or they've got an agenda. And I ran into this way back when I was a team leader, and I would hold a weekly conference call, and I had 17 people under me that I would talk to about what needed to be done and what they did well, what they did wrong, but typical conference call. And I swear, out of those 17 people, there was always one or two people who didn't get the message. Just simply didn't get the message. Like, for whatever reason, they didn't understand what I was talking about. And I went to my managing editor about it, actually, and I talked to him about it one time. And he said, look, as soon as you get to a large enough group of people, you have to understand you can't change your communication style for each person in the group when you're having a conference call. All you can do is aim for the majority of people and make sure the majority of people understand and be consistent with it. And yes, if there's one or two specific people that never seem to get the message, you can talk to them separately. But understand, you have to reach the majority of people. And if the majority of people don't understand what you're saying, then it's on you. And you have to change what you're doing. And I think that's right. And I think this teacher, if she's going to continue to teach and she wants to make a career of teaching, has to understand that if she's getting the continuous feedback of your instructions are unclear, she needs to change. She can't just shake her head and say, well, you didn't message me, you didn't email me, you didn't ask questions, so what's the problem? Problem is, she's not communicating very well. And it should be something she wants to do. If you're talking to people and they're not understanding you, you have two ways of dealing with it. One is you walk away and you get all frustrated and, oh, well, they're just idiots. Or you go, okay, what do I have to change to get that person to understand? Now, there are always going to be people that will never understand because they don't want to understand. And that's good that you recognize that. But most people actually do want to understand what you're saying. And especially in a situation like a classroom or at work, your people do want to understand what you want. And it's up to you to change how you're communicating if the majority of people tell you you're unclear. Does that make sense? Please comment if you don't think that's the point of what I'm trying to say and you don't agree. I'd really appreciate hearing the other side of this argument because I think it's just so glaringly obvious that if people are telling you they don't understand, and you're getting that feedback regularly, you need to change the way you communicate. But if you think there's another way of doing it, please let me know. And like and share this video, not just with other writers, but with everybody, because I really think this is a life lesson. I think it's something that everybody should understand, and I think it will help everybody in the long run. Please subscribe to this channel. It's helpful to me. It helps YouTube as well. It helps get the message out. The more people that subscribe, the more YouTube promotes this. And until next week, take care. Bye.